what an absolute privilege to get to play for you guys. I'm going to play a couple songs from my Enneagram series, and it just means a lot to be here. In my learning and research before writing these songs, I was really inspired by many of the books and material that a lot of you have created. So I'm really honored to get to play some of these songs. So I announced that I was going to write a song from the perspective of each of the Enneagram types a couple years ago, and it kind of fits. I love thematic writing. It fits within this project, as Leslie mentioned, called Atlas, and so I did songs inspired by the solar system, a song for each of our planets. I did a song for each of the five senses and our four basic emotions, and so it made sense in this kind of larger theme of involuntary human development. It made sense to include the Enneagram. I was first introduced to the Enneagram through my friend Chris Hewerts several years ago, about 6 or 7 years ago. And he had a conversation with my wife and I, and we're just like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And as I was just saying, the days and months that followed, I couldn't not see the Enneagram coming through in every conversation and every relationship dynamic. Not even the word the Enneagram, just everything started to click together and make sense, and it became this really beautiful tool for understanding my wife and for her understanding myself. So it was this vocabulary that we had never experienced. And so then, as I mentioned, I'm doing this Atlas project, and I thought I would love to try to write these songs from the perspective of each of the 9 types, but I had no idea how presumptuous that was. I'm going to speak from all 9 types, personalities and perspectives, and but as soon as I began to write this song, I started with 1. As soon as I began writing the song, I quickly realized that pressure and that I knew that I needed to research, and I didn't want to write a single note until I truly felt like I could see the beauty of the type. So, and I also wanted to make sure that I didn't write songs that were just the caricature or just the kind of the fun stuff that you talk about at a dinner party. The different qualities of each type. I wanted to really honor the redemption. So these are 9 stories of redemption from the perspective of each type, and it still is very presumptuous. So I didn't quite get over that, but but I love the idea of trying to figure out how to translate everything I was learning, not only in the lyrics and in that perspective, but also through the music. I wanted to, like for this song, for example, so 1, it's in the key of C. So if you look at the piano, all the white keys, I figured it's very organized in that way. And so I thought that has to be the key that it's in. And I thought 120 BPM is if you use any recording software, that is the first tempo that comes up. So it's like the default, it's like the classic tempo. 4/4 timing is the correct or default tempo and timing. So those are kinds of things I'm like, okay, that's a fun way to point to the caricature of the types. Also, for the drums, which you won't hear when I'm playing, but in the recording, everything percussion is actually a cleaning supply. So there's mops and there's brooms and so I had a lot of fun with that, but I really wanted to make sure that there's a point in writing each of these songs when I felt like I could write a song that is the definition of the type, but I don't feel like I'm ready until my heart was kind of broken for the heaviness and the weight that each of us carry around. And so that's where writing these lyrics kind of made sense to me in the form of a redemption story. So it's a little background of this song. It's also written at the peak of my voice range, because I feel like type 1s are they know what they think. So I wanted to have that energy into the song. So all that's a lot of words. I'm gonna just play the song. This is 1. Hold on for a minute, 'cause I believe that we can fix this over time. That every imperfection is a lie, or at least an interruption. Now hold on, let me finish. No, I'm not saying
life. But we'll only know for certain if we try. I wanna sing a song worth singing. Write an anthem worth repeating. I wanna feel a transformation. The melody of reformation. But the list goes on forever of all the ways I could be better in my mind. As if I could earn God's favor given time, or at least congratulations. Now I have learned my lesson. The price of this so-called perfection is everything. I spent my whole life searching desperately to find out that grace requires nothing of me. I wanna sing a song worth singing. Write an anthem worth repeating. I wanna feel a transformation. Oh, the melody of reformation. I sold it all more loosely, and yet somehow much more dearly. I spent my whole life searching desperately to find out that grace requires nothing. Grace requires